Tesla stock today is rallying. It is up almost 6% as I'm recording this, 30 minutes before the market closes. I will go through all of today's Tesla stock news as well as the reasons why Tesla stock is up today. Elon replied to one of Razat's posts with major improvements coming for Summon and Banish, so Auto Park, and that will be next month. Elon, though, is often optimistic with his timeline, so we will see, but Razat says that after his first FSD v12.3 experience of 2 hours, he does notice a lot of improvements, vastly improved safety versus v12.2. Overall, massive improvements over v11, but still not perfect. However, it's becoming much clearer that perfection is achievable with this hardware and software stack, especially given its excellent performance in blind turns. In an interview with Don Lemon, Elon Musk confirmed that the new Roadster is going to use steer-by-wire as well as a new yoke. And maybe it will fly. So the interview with Don Lemon and Elon Musk, it was an absolutely fascinating display of logic versus emotion. It became clear Elon was getting tired of Don's inability to view the world through his lens, and he kept trying to push his lens, one that views everything through race and sex as the only right way to view the world. This is at the core of so many issues with our society today, the inability for some to accept the fact that there are many out there that don't care about sex, race, orientation, etc., and are solely interested in the merits of the person. That's it. It was obviously very difficult for Don to understand this, and thus by default it's likely that Elon is sexist, racist, or probably both, based on where Don Lemon was coming from. As I'm recording this, Tesla stock is up substantially. I think there are a few reasons for this. One is price increases in the US as well as Europe. And we did see quite a few promising FSD clips, and Elon commented again on FSD, but I think it's probably mostly the price increases. I don't think institutional investors are paying much attention to FSD, but regular investors who have just experienced FSD 12.3, I think these people are fairly bullish. Gary's delivery forecast remains at 425,000 for this quarter. The price increase also sends a signal that management may be willing to put a bottom on auto gross margins, a move that would be viewed favorably by investors. But I think FSD is actually pushing the stock up a little bit. There are so many interesting clips comparing the old version with the new version. Take a look at this one from Chuck Cook.
But this is narrow roads. This is my narrow roads test on Birkenhead, where I've really struggled over the past couple years with the car's inability of using the entire lane and oncoming traffic just creating a scenario where it didn't know what to do. I've got an oncoming car. There's my pay attention to the road, and my steering wheel is pointed straight towards him. And now look, it's going out into the middle. Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, this car is not comfortable with what I'm doing. He was slowing down because I was doing complete S-turns there in the middle of the road. And that warning was because I'm over on the edge of the drivable space and it wasn't comfortable with how close I was. So that was not exactly what you want to see. It seems like version 12 has fixed it, but for the purposes of just demonstrating the use case, we'll go ahead and grab a couple laps on here and see if we can create some scenarios with some traffic. But if it works perfectly, then who knows, maybe this scenario. All right, we got it. We do have our first oncoming car here. That's great. Speed bump slowed all the way down to 13. And look at this. It's not even flinching. And look how far to the right it went. Fixed.
Nice.
Version 12.3, narrow roads. This just gave version 11 a heck of a time. It seemed like it was just about using that drivable space on the very edge of the road that version 11 just couldn't violate its own buffers.
The light, man.
The light is green. That blue bus is, I think, picking up people or dropping people off. The light, oh, the light just turned red. And we need to turn right. And you usually turn right from that right lane, but that bus turned.
Please let us go.
Right from the middle.
Shoot. He did not. Let's see what we do. I think this is the right move. You wait for the bus to go, and then you go. That's it. Perfect.
Now, I would have probably gotten behind that bus on the right side because that was the right turn lane, but I don't think this was wrong really either. It shows that the car is sort of building a mind of its own, which is going to let it get out of some difficult situations later on. And Rob Maurer actually took FSD V12.3 for a test in downtown Chicago yesterday with 0 disengagements interventions in the first 30 minutes despite incredibly dense traffic and pedestrians during the St. Patrick's Day festivities. Extremely impressive, says Rob, and you know that he doesn't hype Tesla up if Tesla is not living up to expectations. He has a few favorite moments.
That biker startled it a little bit, this person on the scooter. All right, again, it's gonna pause here a little bit, maybe not.
This is so
This
busy.
is gonna be very difficult. It's gonna need to be very assertive here. And it was,
Whoa.
wow. Wow, that was great.
That was
great.
amazing.
That's exactly how I would have handled that.
Another situation.
So now we're gonna have to wait for massive amounts of pedestrians. You can see they were pretty aggressive. We'll see version 12 is. It's no gap yet. We're gonna be waiting a bit.
So busy.
It is edging forward. Tons of honking, but there's nothing we can do here. Maybe it could go there, but probably not. Now we got a red. We still gotta wait for these to clear out, but it is finding the gap here. This is great. This is great. Go now? Yep. Perfect. Again, wouldn't have done anything different there.
Rob's conclusion is that FSD V12.3 seems like a major step forward from my early testing and hopefully provides the proper foundation to accelerate the rate of progress significantly. It's not perfect, and it's still going to take time, but I am excited. Congratulations to the Tesla team. Here's another case where FSD is being pretty impressive.
Oh, okay, stopping at the mailbox. Is it gonna try to go around? I would not, because we've got a blind turn and a double yellow. Now, if I could see around, maybe I would, and maybe it would. So this is, let's see, this is a great scenario here. Okay. Now, it is, now this time it's going around. Oh, man.
Good.
Obviously, it knew before that that was not good to go around a blind curve, and this time it did. That's awesome.
I'm also seeing quite a few people say things like this. Caught super special roundabout conquered by Tesla self-driving V12.3. And some investors that didn't really put much emphasis on Tesla solving full self-driving are now turning. AJ says, I have never published my work on FSD in relation to the potential financial effects of robotaxi since previously I thought this was premature. I am changing my mind now due to current events. Here are some of his assumptions. Now, I personally model robotaxi in the long term, so I'm definitely not assuming 76 cents, but in the short term, once it gets solved, yeah, we will see fairly high prices per mile, but these prices will come down significantly over time as the fleets get bigger. And AJ has his detailed outlook here. So yeah, as people start to get more bullish on FSD, the stock is likely going to rise if that hype and bullishness and progress continues. I'm also seeing quite a few posts like this. I completed 6 ride-share trips today using FSD V12.3. Not a single rider noticed the car was driving itself. There were 0 interventions and 0 disengagements. Yeah, things are definitely different now. Before, we wouldn't see so many people. I mean, we would see maybe 1 or 2, but not dozens of people saying things like that. So things are certainly moving forward. This is not just hype alone. This hype is based on actual things that are happening right now that in the long term are going to be material to Tesla stock.